Most people think the Lionel Messi effect is just about jersey sales and highlights on social media. That is amateur math. In our first breakdown, we looked at how Messi secured his own billion-dollar future through equity in Apple royalties. But today, we are looking at the collateral wealth he created for people who have never even touched a soccer ball. Let us look at a case study that economists will be studying for decades. The Chicago Fire. This is a team that has struggled for relevance in a city dominated by the Bears, the Bulls, and the Cubs. In 2023, they hosted Inter Miami at Soldier Field. They sold 62,124 tickets. That single game generated more than $10 million in live gate revenue. To put that into perspective, that one night accounted for more than 50% of their entire annual ticket revenue from the previous year. Okay? But here is the kicker. Messi did not even play that night due to injury. The fans showed up for the possibility of Messi. The economic engine moved because of the brand alone. When Messi stepped onto American soil in 2023, the average Major League Soccer franchise was worth about $580 million by the end of 2025. That floor has been completely obliterated. We are seeing a valuation contagion. Yeah, we are not just watching a player. We are watching a macroeconomic shockwave that is rewriting the rules of American sports ownership. Today, we are breaking down the Messi multiplier. This is the 16-minute masterclass on how one man turned a growing league into a global financial powerhouse. With more wealth-generating potential than almost any other sports asset on the planet. Think about the sheer scale of this transformation. Usually, it takes decades to double the value of a sports franchise. Right? Messi did it in less than 24 months. This is not just sports. This is a masterclass in high-velocity growth equity, and we are just getting started with the numbers that will blow your mind. To understand the economy of Messi, you have to understand the unique structure of the American sports model. In Europe, if you are bad, you get relegated, your revenue drops, your sponsors leave, and your valuation tanks. It is high risk and high reward. But the Major League Soccer system is a closed-loop monopoly. There is no relegation. This is exactly what American billionaires and venture capital firms love. It is a safe space for massive capital investment. Before Messi arrived, the league was criticized for being too safe, perhaps a bit stagnant. It lacked the global star power to justify the massive buy-in fees that owners were demanding. In 2019, an expansion fee to own a team was $325 million. After Messi signed, that number jumped to $500 million for the new team in San Diego. That is a $500 million entry fee just to join the club. That is a 54% increase in the cost of entry in just a few years. Enter the Messi dividend. Because Messi is tied to the revenue of the entire league through Apple and Adidas. Every team in the league is effectively a Messi derivative. When Inter Miami's value hit $1.2 billion, it set a new comparable for every other owner. Think about the math. If you are an owner of a team like the Philadelphia Union or the Seattle Sounders, your net worth just went up by hundreds of millions of dollars, simply because Messi exists in your ecosystem. He did not just raise his own value. He raised the floor for 29 other billionaires. This is the first time in history a single employee has acted as a rising tide for an entire asset class. It is the ultimate example of a leveraged buyout of public attention, transforming the league from a local interest into a global investment vehicle. If you want to know where the real money is, you have to look at the dirt. On April 4th, 2026, Inter Miami is scheduled to move into its brand new home at Miami Freedom Park. This is not just a soccer stadium. It is a $1 billion real estate development project that changes the skyline of Miami forever. We are talking about 750 hotel rooms, massive retail spaces for high-end brands, and a public park spread across 130 acres. This is why the Messi economy is so powerful, because Messi is the anchor tenant in commercial real estate. An anchor tenant is what makes the rest of the land valuable. Think of a luxury shopping mall. You need a high-end store like Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus to justify the rent for everyone else. Messi is the human version of that high-end store. His presence guaranteed the financing for this massive project. It guaranteed the luxury suite sales, which are already sold out through the year 2028. The Messi economy is literally being built in concrete and steel. And here is the secret that most casual fans miss. When Messi eventually retires, the stadium remains, the retail remains, the hotels remain. The land value in that area of Miami has already begun to spike by double digits in anticipation of the crowds he brings. He provided the initial capital of fame to build a permanent, multi-generational cash flow machine for the Moz brothers and David Beckham. He is the foundation of a real estate empire that will outlive his playing days by 50 years. This is how you use a short-term athletic career to build a long-term financial dynasty. Let us dive deeper into the digital spreadsheets. We know from part 1 that Messi gets a cut of Apple TV subscriptions. But why would Apple, a $3 trillion company, care about one soccer player? The answer is not just about subscriptions. It is about data and global scaling. Before Messi, Major League Soccer had a localized audience. It was a product for people in specific cities like Seattle, or Atlanta, or Los Angeles. After Messi, Apple has the credit card information and the viewing habits of millions of fans in Argentina, Spain, China, and Saudi Arabia in the digital economy. Customer acquisition cost is the most important metric. It usually costs a streaming service $50 to $100 in marketing spend to get one new subscriber. Messi brought in over 1 million subscribers almost for free because his name alone is the marketing. He is the most efficient marketing spend in the history of the Apple Corporation for the league. They are now selling a global product. For 25 years, the league tried to sell soccer to Americans. In 2025, they realized it is far more profitable to sell America to the rest of the world. Every time a fan in Tokyo or London buys a season pass to watch Messi play in Miami, the American sports economy grows. Messi is the bridge. He is the chief growth officer of a digital revolution. He turned a niche sports app into a global destination for sports fans. This is not just a streaming deal. It is a global data capture mission that puts Apple at the center of the world's most popular sport. Everything we have discussed, the rising valuations, the real estate developments, and the streaming data, is leading to one specific moment in history. The summer of 2026, the FIFA World Cup is coming to North America. This is the biggest economic event in the history of the sport, and Messi is the center of gravity, historically. The World Cup provides a massive legacy boost to the host nation's economy, but this time is different. Usually, the stars fly in, play their games, and fly back to Europe. They take the attention and the momentum with them. But in 2026, the king of soccer will already be a resident of the United States. The 2026 World Cup is what we call an exit liquidity event for league investors. This is a term from the world of venture capital. It is the moment when early investors who took a risk 10 years ago can finally cash out at a massive profit. By 2026, the infrastructure will be ready, the fans will be converted, and the global brands will be locked in. Economists estimate the 2026 World Cup will generate over $5 billion in short-term economic activity. Messi is the engine that ensures that money does not just visit the United States, but stays here. He is converting tourist fans into domestic consumers. By the time the final whistle blows in 2026, the league will likely announce a new television deal, and experts suggest it could make the current $2.5 billion Apple deal look like pocket change. We are looking at a potential doubling of media rights values, all because of the momentum and the trust generated by one man's presence in the league. So, we have to ask the ultimate question. Why did he sign the extension through 2028? Why keep playing when you have already won everything? It was not just to score more goals or lift more trophies. Messi knows what Michael Jordan knew before him. You do not get truly wealthy by simply playing the game. You get wealthy by owning the game. By the year 2028, the Messi economy will have reached full maturity. The new stadium at Miami Freedom Park will have been opened for 2 years. The World Cup will be in the history books, and the league valuations will have reached their peak. I might go. That is exactly when his equity option kicks in. He didn't just come here to play. He came here to wait for the big bang of American soccer to finish expanding, so he could buy a piece of the universe at a massive discount. He is watching the numbers climb every day, knowing that every goal he scores increases the value of the very team he will eventually own. We are witnessing the most sophisticated brand to owner transition in the history of professional sports. From the humble streets of Rosario to the glass boardrooms of Miami. The question is no longer whether Messi is worth the money. The question is, can the American economy handle what happens when he finally takes off the jersey and puts on the blazer? Because the Messi effect is not ending in 2028. That is just when the real ownership begins. The era of Messi the player is ending, but the era of Messi the mogul is just getting started. If you want to stay ahead of the business of sports, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. We are tracking every dollar and every deal. Peace.